Hello, my fabulous fashionistas, and welcome back to another episode of a quick, easy tutorial. If you're interested in making this tiered skirt, please keep watching and we will get right into it. Thank you for coming back. So this tutorial should be relatively easy. You're going to need about 1.5 meters for this. So we're gonna start off by cutting out the strips that we need. First of all, you're going to need 2 layers. So my 2 layers, they're both 13 inches in length, and that's also including the hemming allowance. You gotta remember the hemming allowance and also the joining allowance and also the folding allowance for where your elastic is going to go. So for the first one, the length, the measurement I've already put it on the screen so you can see the measurement. The second one, the measurement is also on the screen. So and for the elastic that I'm going to be using, I think it's about 2 inches in width, maybe even less, I can't remember, but you need to take into consideration the size of your elastic as well. So therefore that should dictate the length of your first layer as well as the second layer. So to start off, you want to measure how long you want your skirt to be and then determine where you want your layers to be. So here I'm just folding the top of the first layer to see the size of the folding that I need for my elastic. So you want to make sure that whatever you're folding in is enough gap for you to be able to feed in your elastic at the waist. So now, before any sewing whatsoever, you want to mark the halfway point of your first layer and then also mark the quarter point of your layer as well. Then you want to repeat that on your second layer. This is going to be helpful when you come in to join the two pieces together. It's going to serve as a guide for you to know how you want to spread your ruffle easily for the second layer. So you want to go ahead and do that on both layers. So after doing that, then you want to go ahead and fold. You want to go ahead and then sew the sides together on your first layer, and you can also sew the sides of your second layer as well. So after you finish sewing the side of your first layer, you then go ahead and fold the top bit where you're going to be feeding in the elastic. Whilst you're sewing around that, you want to leave about 2 inches gap unsewn so you can feed in your elastic. So after feeding in your elastic, you should have something like this. So now you can either decide to sew again on the elastic to secure it in place, or you can leave it as is if you want, but make sure you close the opening gap where you've just fed in your elastic. So I'm just going to run a stitch in the middle of the elastic just to hold it in place. You can do that as well. So for the second layer, if you haven't sewn the sides together yet, you want to go ahead and do that now. And then you're going to need to sew a gathering stitch on one side, and then you want to hem the other side. So because you're going to need the gathering stitch to help you gather the second layer into the size of the first one when joining together. So I've gone ahead and done the gathering stitch on one side where I'm going to be joining to the other piece of the skirt. So now this is where the notches are going to come into play. This is going to help you do your gathering into size. So the first layer of the skirt with the elastic band is currently sitting right side facing the right way, and the second layer is the right side on the inside. So essentially what we're trying to do here to make sure that the right sides of both fabric are facing each other when pinning together. So now when you've done that, you want to then start marking the notch points on each of the layers together. So you want to match the halfway point, the quarter point. You just want to do that all the way around. So once you've done that, then that you will see where the gap is for the second layer. So this is where the gathering stitch is now going to help you to pull that into the size of the first layer. That's where you're going to have your gather. So once you do that, then you're going to be able to sew all the way around, and you're going to have your 2-layered skirt. I hope that makes sense. So once completed and you're satisfied with your gathers, you want to just take that to the sewing machine and sew all the way around. And this is the final result, guys. I hope you have enjoyed making this skirt. If you have, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and also share this content so that everyone else can find my channel as well. It'll be very much helpful. So if you haven't hemmed your skirt yet, this will be the point where you just need to go ahead and hem your skirt, and after hemming, that's it, you're pretty much done. And happy days, happy sewing, and I hope I will see you again on my next tutorial. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more.